Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. I'm not going to comment on MC Shan because I'm a great fan and supporter of his, being one of the godfathers of hip hop. I haven't heard his commentary on my commentary where I stated unapologetically, emphatically, that no non-African should ever be allowed to be the GOAT of any aspect of African culture. I understand that one of the great icons of hip hop, MC Shan, took issue with my pronouncement. I haven't seen his words yet, so I'm going to withhold any comment until I see what the elder hip hop pioneer has had to say. But the reason I had to go live right now is I just learned, brothers and sisters, that 1 year ago, my favorite black hotel in the entire world, my favorite black hotel in the United States of America, my favorite black-owned hotel, the Roberts Riverwalk Hotel, has been sold last December. I didn't even know that the Roberts Riverwalk Hotel was sold last December. I've been taking up residence when I visit Detroit at the Roberts Riverwalk Hotel since I first came to Detroit in the year 2011. I've been staying at the Roberts Riverwalk for 12 years, and I just learned, brothers and sisters, I just learned a few minutes ago when I was looking up Roberts Riverwalk Hotel to make my reservation for tonight that the Roberts Riverwalk Hotel was sold to Caucasians. The great black-owned hotel, Roberts Riverwalk Hotel, was sold to Caucasians. I want to know how we let that happen. Detroit, I want to know how we let that happen. Black America, I want to know how we let that happen. Michigan, I want to know how we let that happen. That was a beautiful hotel. Big, pretty rooms. Big, beautiful windows, excellent view of the river. I used to stay at the Roberts Riverwalk Hotel so I can meditate at the river right there, the Detroit River, where so many of our enslaved African ancestors. I used to meditate when I used to stay at the Roberts Riverwalk Hotel at the Detroit River, where so many of our enslaved African ancestors used to come to Detroit. They used to flee slavery on the Underground Railroad through Detroit. And they would jump into the Detroit River trying to make salvation over to Canada, brothers and sisters. Because of the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, they were not free until they made it to Canada. So many of our enslaved African ancestors came through Detroit to the Detroit River. And they tried to make safe passage across the Detroit River to Canada and to an unlikely freedom. So there's plenty of ancestors at the bottom of the Detroit River. And it just hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. It hurts my heart that the Roberts Riverwalk Hotel has been sold.
I'm waiting for him to tell you to hit the Cash App, but I'm sure we'll get there. Let's just see what's going to happen. I want to let these people talk because I want to get the entirely insight before I start to give my own commentary.
And I believe it has been sold to a real estate group owned by Detroit Mayor Michael Duncan. Is that his name? What's his name? Let me look it up.
This nigga don't even know the mayor's name. His name is Mike Duggan, and he's not the owner of a real estate group. He's the mayor of the city.
Look it up. Black people gotta stop selling off our institutions. The Roberts Riverwalk Hotel here in Detroit. The Roberts Riverwalk Hotel here in Detroit, no way in hell that should have been sold to white folks. We should have kept that in the community, Detroit. We should have kept the...
Yo. As a native Detroiter, a person that was born and raised at Sinai Hospital on Outer Drive, raised in the city, been here my entire life. I can move anywhere I want to, even consider moving here. I moved back into the city, specifically downtown Detroit. I went to school in downtown Detroit. I walked the Riverwalk on a regular basis, donated and volunteered so much of my time into the city. Let me tell you something. We don't need this division again. We don't need nobody from Detroit subjecting themselves to this idiotic, dumb mindset that he's trying to input into people. The thing that got us into bankruptcy in the first place is because we divided ourselves against each other, but now we became a melting pot again, and we welcome people from different cultures. Let me tell you something. Dan Gilbert is the person single-handedly, Dan Gilbert, owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Quicken Loans, Rocket Mortgage, you name it. He is one of the biggest advocates, went to school in Michigan, graduated, created his mortgage company, became a billionaire. And you know what he did? He moved from the suburbs of Livonia and he moved his headquarters into Detroit. And you know what that did? Let me tell you what else he did since you really want a history lesson. In the midst of bankruptcy, he built new headquarters. He moved and spent millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to relocate the company into the city of Detroit. He invested all of those buildings that y'all used to see in these urban exploration videos and stuff like that, where people were exploring because it was absolutely abandoned and decrepit, and all of these historic buildings was absolutely falling apart, and people was urban exploring it and stuff like that. You know what he did? He bought them, he preserved them. He's building one of the tallest buildings in a Hudson's building today inside of the city of Detroit, which is ironically named after where the Hudson's building was, because Woodward was the first street, the very first street that was ever paved in America. And he preserved it. Not only did he preserve all of those buildings and create an investment company to start investing in Detroiters, and he's given plenty of black people, including a young lady who I've actually done a video on when she created a store called Detroit is the New Black. He actually gave her the retail space right there on Woodward, and he's helped so many other entrepreneurs, black people, white people, all the way across the board. And you know what he did when he moved the headquarters down here? He also incentivized every single person that worked at Quicken Loans to live, work, and play all in the city, which then incentivized and it helped to explode and to start to increase the property values, because he then gave them an opportunity to really finance and purchase their own property within the city limits to then recreate what the tax base was, and then also incentivize all four sports teams to either stay or to move back into the city, which is one of the reasons why the Pistons is here. It's one of the reasons why, the Lions have moved from the Pontiac Silverdome down in the Ford Field. We got all four teams within a 1 to 2 mile radius of each other. It's vibrant, it's thriving. He's literally invested billions of dollars in a rebuild in the city. And we finally diversified away from the auto industry, became a technology hub, has Microsoft downtown, has Google downtown, has Meridian Healthcare downtown, have Blue Cross Blue Shield downtown, and incentivize more plants and building and infrastructure to be built. Jeep is downtown, or Jeep is in Detroit. Renaissance Center, General Motors decided to stay within the city. And we have so much diversification, so much growth, so much awesomeness within the city. And it took literally everybody, not just black people, not just white people. It's so many different people that's now here, and the city is finally growing again. We are operating at a surplus when all of these other cities and these sanctuary cities is operating at a deficit. We're growing. Everybody likes the mayor. We getting around. We have the Livernois Avenue of Fashion is growing. Midtown is thriving. Ford took the old abandoned train station building and is investing over $1 billion into making it a technology hub right in Corktown within the city limits. And the city is thriving. And when I say thriving, it is thriving. It is so many jobs, so much opportunity. It's growing. The Riverwalk is expanding and is becoming even better. It was literally rated the best Riverwalk in the entire country. Look it up. The Riverwalk was named the best Riverwalk in the entire country. We got the DeQuinder Cut. We got Greektown that's thriving. We got 3 different casinos. All sports teams are here. I moved my office down in the Midtown. I also moved my residence. I'm moving down in there, and I made it my home. And we got this motherfucker coming up here trying to divide us and trying to make sure that y'all feel some type of way. Man, go over to Philly with that shit and go and fix that up. Go talk to Chicago with that shit. Go over to New York and fix the migrant crisis over there. Go down to Atlanta and talk to them. Go to Houston and talk to that shit. We don't need that shit over here, bro. We good. We good. We not even on that type of time. And I'm so tired of y'all coming over here and being divisive on this racial bullshit No, we need everybody that want to do something good within the city to become a part of the city fabric. When all of the black people was moving away, a lot of the white people, a lot of the Asians, a lot of the Hispanics, a lot of the Arabic people, they was moving into the city. They was walking into it in order to help it thrive. And there was a lot of black people that was moving in here too. And everybody worked together and we became one big family and we love what we got going on with our city. We love it. We don't need this shit, bro. So tired of these divisive people that want to make it a race war. Get out of here with that, bro.
Roberts Riverwalk Hotel in the community, Detroit. I'm talking to my African brothers and sisters of the 313. How did we sell the Roberts Riverwalk Hotel? That is the most beautiful hotel I
Who is
ever been in.
we?
The Roberts Riverwalk Hotel was the most beautiful hotel I ever been in. So here we go, Dan Gilbert. Dan Gilbert. Is Dan Gilbert still the mayor of Detroit? Is Dan Gilbert still the mayor of Detroit?
Tell me that you don't know when you don't know. Tell me you don't know. He said, is Dan Gilbert still the mayor? Jesus Christ. You need to take this down, bro. He need to take this down. He need to absolutely positively take this down. This dude knows nothing.
Is Dan Gilbert still the racist mayor of Detroit? Why is Dan Gilbert being reelected every year, Detroit? I'm going to ask y'all tonight at the King Solomon Church. I'm going to ask y'all tonight at the King Solomon Church where El Hajj Malik El Shabazz gave his favorite ballad or the bullet speech. I'm evoking the spirit of El Hajj Malik El Shabazz tonight in Detroit. He was never the mayor. No, Duggan is the mayor. This is Dan Gilbert. Thank you for the correction. Dan Gilbert, who was the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was a good friend to Michael Duggan, right? Thank you for the correction. Dan Gilbert.
You know what he also did? He was also a good friend to Kwame Kilpatrick and helped him get out of jail. I hate when people that ain't from the city speak on the city because they don't know nothing about what the fuck is going on in the city, bro.
And Michael Duggan are close friends. Am I correct? Michael Duggan is the mayor. But are they not good friends? Didn't Michael Duggan help Dan Gilbert buy up half of Detroit? Did the mayor of Detroit?
Dan Gilbert was, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I hate when people, this guy got to be stopped. Don't he got his own city to worry about? Don't he got his own city to worry about, man?
Help Dan Gilbert buy up half the city? Did the mayor of Detroit help Dan Gilbert buy up half the city? That's what I'm talking about. Somebody said Dan Gilbert runs Detroit. Somebody told me that Detroit has a two-headed dictatorship. Somebody told me that the city of Detroit got a two-headed white dictatorship, Dan Gilbert and Michael Duggan. Dan Gilbert and Michael Duggan. And tonight at the King Solomon Church, in the very space where El Hajj Malik El Shabazz gave his famous ballad or the bullet speech, we're going to have a serious conversation about how we're going to take black Detroit back. We taking Detroit back, brothers and sisters. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we taking Detroit back. We taking Detroit back. We're going to save New York City from the migrant takeover. And we're going to save Chicago from the migrant takeover. And we're going to take Detroit back. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find a location for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to find a location for the Detroit, Michigan campus of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. We need one of these schools in Detroit because I thought FDMG would be in Detroit. I thought FDMG would be in Detroit. I thought FDMG would be in Detroit. There was about 4 schools I wanted to buy in Detroit, and we had the money for it. There was 4 schools I wanted to buy in Detroit, and we had the money for it. There were 4 schools I wanted to buy in Detroit, and we had the money for it. But guess what? The Roman Catholic Church, the Archdiocese of Detroit, refused to sell the school to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy Incorporated, brothers and sisters. So I'm asking Black Detroit right.
Raymond Jordan says Umar needs to tell us when that school is starting. He has been asking the black community for funds for it over a decade. Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. It's 1:32 a.m. I had to take a flight here, and I didn't know. I honestly, I didn't know that this was out what I was walking into. I don't. Somebody said we might need to call it a night. I agree. I agree. I don't want to. I don't want my Anwar Williams. You the one that said it. You called it. I don't want to get my. I had two more segments that I wanted to go through tonight. I don't have the patience for it. I don't. I don't have the patience for it. We gonna live stream on Thursday night instead. I just, I can't. I can't. I can't with this guy. He may be public enemy number one. We don't need a nigga like this in Detroit, man. He ain't got the money to get one school open. He don't have the money to get one school open. Listen. I am about. I will have 4 houses built from scratch in high-end neighborhoods in Oakland County in less than a year. I'm building 4 at a time. 4. We just started framing and putting up the foundation. We got the electricians, we got the plumbers coming in, everything like that. I'm building 4, no financing, no donations, no nothing. 4 at a time, we building them all at the same time. Literally, this is what it looks like right now. And they go back on the job tomorrow. Or no, they went back on the job today. We're building them from scratch, documenting it, showing you. Literally got this picture on Sunday at 6:51 a.m. 4 at a time. We building 4 houses at a time at a cost of a little under $400,000 per home in less than a year. I'm talking about from scratch, not even already got a building up or nothing. Bought a whole studio, set that up. I got a place that I'm moving into that'll be ready for me on February, in early February. Built 4 houses purely from land. Had to clear all the forestry out and gonna have it up with no financing and no hitting of nothing at a time. And this nigga can't get a school up in 15 years. And he's sitting here telling you guys, he's selling you this narrative. He just talking.
Right now. Can we get one of these schools? Can we get one of these schools for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy Detroit campus? Can we get one of these schools? We're the black people on city council. We're the black people on city council in Detroit. Where's the black people on city council? Can we get one of these schools, please? We don't need your money. We don't want your money. All we want is a building. We don't need your money. We don't want your money. All we need is the building.
No.
We don't need your money. We don't want your money. Can one of these black city council people get me a school building? Somebody call up your city council person.
This nigga gotta be stopped, bro. Gotta be stopped. He has to be stopped. This, this is not. I can't no more. I can't, bro. I'm all out. They say Anton don't dye the beard. No, this gray is going out. This gray is going out. Listen, if I ever see him, this is what I'll promise you. If I ever see him and he announced that he's going to plan to go before the city, and I know when the meetings is coming, I know who's who. When I got, listen, if anybody got connections within the city when it comes to politics, I have everybody's phone number that I need to get in touch with. If I ever see a person like him or any of you blackety blacks come up and present this as an opportunity over to the city council during their meetings, I will be there. I will take off whatever, I will cancel and clear my schedule, and I will make phone calls, and then I will be there standing right next to this nigga, and I will be sitting right next to him at the city council meeting, having my own little thing, and it's gonna be a thing. We don't need people like this inside of our city at all, messing up what we got going on. I had two more things, but we'll revisit this on Thursday.